BeatStars.com.
what's going down, everyone? I really am liking the conversation that's going on in the chat. Can is my audio working?
Yeah, it's a little fuzzy. It's a little fuzzy, but I can hear you.
That's so strange. Let me check my
Angel, you hear that too?
audio.
You're muted, by the way, Angel. But do you hear that? It's like a little fuzz going.
You're
It's
right.
not
Hold on.
okay.
There we go. Is this better?
Oh man, now you sound like a voiceover guy. Yeah, man, it sounded good.
There we go. Welcome to BeatStars.com,
Oh
BeatStars.world. Check it
yes.
out. Check it out. So very recently, I ran this whole session about how to export customer data from your BeatStars account and import it into Facebook Ads Manager. And that's really been the game changer for me as far as running Facebook ads to market my beats. Now, I acknowledged that that technique is really only available for people who have a lot of data built up, a lot of email addresses, a lot of customer data. It's a goal to have. So obviously, throughout that conversation, I made it very clear that there were certain steps you can take to build that data up and to collect those data and to make sure that you're utilizing them. Now, if you're not there yet and you want to start running ads and you want to start collecting data that way through paid ads, that's what we're talking about today. I imagine that most of you are at that point where you're just starting out. Maybe you don't have 100 emails or 1,000 emails from customers or 2,000 emails from free downloads because you're just struggling to get traffic to your beat store. That's what we're talking about today. It's not a shortcut. For me, it took me a couple years of doing this to really reach a point where I thought my Facebook ads were so targeted, and I had to do a lot of testing. I tried one ad, it didn't work. I tried another ad. I changed the images, I changed the text, I changed the wording. And I did that with the help of people like Mike Trampe and with the help of people like Abe. So I'm really excited again to have Mike Trampe on here today. Thank you so much for taking the time. And last year, maybe it was a little more than a year ago, on a previous MEC session, we had a guinea pig by the name of Tundra Beats. Tundra Beats is doing very well right now. He has over 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. He's making beats for a living. I'm not saying that's just because, of our session, but it helps, he said. So today we have a new guinea pig. Her name is Angel Ray. Thank you, Angel, for volunteering to be put under the microscope today. Now, I'm not going to do very much talking because, as I said, Mike Trampe is a man who helped me out so much throughout my journey towards building up customer data and running more successful targeted ads. And today, what's going to happen is Angel Ray, who's in a position that many of you are in, just starting out running your ad campaigns, Mike is going to talk her through the process. Is Angel about to be the next Tundra Beats? We'll see. Maybe Tundra's about to be the next Angel. Maybe he's going to start singing his own hooks. I don't know. Anything could happen. It's BeatStars Live. Who knows? So once again, Mike, thank you for your time. Angel, thank you for your time. I'm going to hand the floor over to the two of you. It's
Sure.
Mike Trampe live from Puggle Place.
Puggle Place, man. That's where I'm at. South Jersey in the house. But what's up, man? Thank you for having me on, Payne. It's always a pleasure to come on your show. I appreciate everything you guys are doing overall, and all specifically for the BeatStars community. Angel, pleasure to have you on. I know we spoke the other day and kind of went over a few things, and I think you got a little taste of what we're going to go through, and I'm pretty sure you're excited. Uh-oh, can't hear her. Nope.
I think maybe her audio. She has a crazy setup. Mm-hmm. She uses Logic, and Logic is for very advanced producers. Okay, this is funny.
That's fine. Let's do it, man. Lady in the Trampy. Yeah, turn it up just a tad bit.
Is that better?
Yeah, better.
Okay. Yeah. Started because it's much needed.
We appreciate you, working with us on this, because it's much better to do this. I could use a dummy account. I could use my personal account. I just think the live training with somebody who's actually transitioning to, wanting to run ads is much better than, like I said, using a dummy account or something like that. So thank you for allowing us into your account. And doing stuff.
Yeah, I was like, I need someone else to look at this. This is
For sure.
Do what you got to do. If you have to change settings, go ahead.
Well, surprise, surprise. We're going to actually have you share the screen once we get going. And I want you clicking around and doing stuff. And I'm going to walk you through stuff, because at the end of the day, I was telling Payne this before this show, that what everyone needs to understand with advertising and going direct to fan and really targeting in on people, you got to just try stuff out. Like, even though I've been doing this for years, I don't even know how many years, but for a long time, since advertising was really a prominent thing, and I've been in the music industry for a long time, I spent a lot of money, and I wasted a lot of money, and I learned a lot of things. And I'm not saying you guys need to waste a lot of money, but I'm saying you got to try a bunch of stuff and see what works for you and your brand, because everybody is different at the end of the day. And there's a lot of pre-work that goes into this that you really don't want to skip over. And I'll just touch on that really quick before we share screen and we start diving in. Number one, content is key. You've probably heard me say this a million times if you see me on any types of shows or panels or anything in the past. Content is key. Content is king. Content is queen. Whatever you want to call it, it's top notch. So if you have crappy content, and I'm not necessarily talking about the quality of the music, but I'm talking about the videos you're using or just the way the beats come in, you can fail easily if you don't have the right content. So I want everybody to really hone in on their content first and perfecting what they are working on. And then I'll give you guys some pointers of how that content should be as we dive in here. Secondly, like I said before, it's all about testing. It's all about getting in here and just trying stuff out, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't work. And you can spend a little bit of money at a time to do this. So with that said, I think we can dive into your account. Can you open up your Facebook ad manager?
That's what I'm doing now.
Okay, cool.
It's just loading.
Yeah, Payne's got the snacks over there. They look good.
This is one of those RX bars, the ones that have the ingredients listed on the front.
Does that make it better? When they put the ingredients on the front, does that make it better, I guess?
Well, the ingredients are egg whites, peanuts, and dates.
Got it.
3 ingredients.
I've had them.
They're good, man. I'm trying to be healthy.
For sure. I hear you, brother.
Everyone, Payne always eating something. Yeah, because I worked out this morning. Give me a break.
Okay.
Rock 5. Thanks a lot.
So, guys, while she's setting that up, so like I said, content and trying stuff out. But even before you try stuff out, you have to also know who your audience is.
There we go.
Or have an idea of who your audience is, or you think your potential audience is. So pre-work is content and building your audiences out. And while she's doing that, I'll actually show you guys something really quick that I do. For any
let me add to that, Mike. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
So another thing that I do, I'll talk about a mistake that I made when I started running ads, and I had to learn this the hard way. I would make. And this doesn't work for everybody. This is just something that happened to me. I would include in my ad all the beats that I was excited about releasing, right? And so I would put those beats in, I'd run the ad, and a week later, it wasn't performing very well. Well, what I started doing is, because like I said, data is important. It's not just customer data. It's also engagement data. BeatStars gives you all of this. Mm-hmm. YouTube, Instagram, all the one thing that these social media platforms do give you, and shout out to Illmind, the one thing that these platforms do give you is information on your engagement. So if there are beats in particular that people are engaging with more than others, you probably want to pick those. For me, it's a no-brainer because I can go right into my BeatStars Pro page and click on sales and see what my top-selling beats of the last 6 months were, or the last year, or the last week, whatever range I choose. And from now on, that's how I'm informing my ads. That's how I'm making that decision. I'm looking at what the top 4-5 5 beats of the last 6 months are, and I'm putting those in my ad. Some people have very different strategies. Some people just drop new beats that they like every month. That works for them.
Mm-hmm.
Me, maybe it's because my beats aren't all that good and I only put out 4 good beats in every 6 months. Hey, it is what it is. We have to figure out our own strategies. That's what works for me. Consider all of these possibilities when starting out, because a lot of times what happens is people get discouraged because things aren't working right away and they don't know why and they give up. Don't give up. Try to figure out what's not working about your ad and refine it and then try again. It's like the scientific method. You just have to keep testing out these hypotheses, testing them out.
Yep. Yeah, and I wanna just make it a point too. Like, I know this show, I was just looking at the title while you were talking, and it says advertising your beats with my Trampe, but this is really, in my opinion, not just that. It's about how to get in touch with people who are more likely to be interested in your brand. So it's not always about pushing content necessarily and making people want to do something. You don't ever want to come off salesy or just too demanding. It's just about connecting with people who connect with you and then building those relationships out. I mean, this is what I've done with my artist J-Tech that I've managed for almost 4 years. He had literally no fans. We've never paid a blog. We've barely gotten any blog coverage, but he's exploded from the streaming perspective, from the merch perspective, from the fan base perspective. And all we do is shoot high quality videos around amazing songs, in my opinion. And we reach the people we think are his fans, and it's worked. It's definitely a slow grind, but it's gotten him a lot of opportunities. So just keep that in mind. Think outside the box. Don't always think about sales. I know we all want sales, but it's really hard to cold sale somebody and put an ad in front of somebody who's never heard of you and try to push them to buy something. So with that said, I just want to share something real quick. This is something that I personally build for anybody I'm working with. Or in the past. I mean, I'm not working with anybody necessarily now because, full-time at BeatStars, and this is my main priority. But let me know when you guys can see my screen.
Yeah.
So this is something that I was actually taught like almost 10 years ago by a content, I don't know what you want to call them, like a content creator she's an author. Her book's called The Digital Crown. Really interesting stuff. But if you have no idea who your fan base is, like Payne was saying with analytics and looking about like who's listening to what and where they're from, etc., you can actually really come up with a good idea of who your fan base is. So the first thing I do, so this was with an artist named Rude Boy. The first thing that I did, and this can work producer, artist, it doesn't really matter. It can work for any business really. But I looked at like what I thought his ratio was from girl to guy, and it was definitely more of like out of 5 people, 4 of them were men. So we kind of like drafted around there, and then we kind of found a target age range from about 15 to 35-ish. And that can be tweaked, obviously. And then, as you can see, we literally just broke down who these people are. Now, these aren't real people. We made up these names, everyone except for Cammy. Cammy's actually real. She's an employee at BeatStars. But everybody else is fake. These pictures are fake. We Googled them, what we thought maybe they looked like or possibly who they were. And we literally gave us a visual. I would literally print this out, put it up on your wall, and as you go, look at it. And then obviously as you learn more information, tweak it. But you have to have some kind of idea of who you're going after. I see way too many people boosting posts or even actually using Ads Manager and running ads, but they have no idea what they're doing. They're using pieces of content that are not ideal. They're trying to force people into buying something the first time around, and it's not ideal. So hone in on your content creation, hone in on your audience development, even before you get an ad manager. Don't skip steps. I'm telling you, it's not worth it. Make these charts, make something similar. Doesn't have to be the same. Have an idea who you're going after. So I just wanted to
shout out to Bernard. He really has his life together.
What do you mean?
He was the 4th avatar. He ate salads. He didn't do drugs.
Oh man.
Oh, I've been seeing some really effective Illmind Facebook ads recently.
I have too. I've actually just noticed them. That actually, to be 100% honest, that actually made my post yesterday on Instagram where I posted me, you, and him back in the day.
Oh yeah, where you're like, oh, we look so old. I swear, I don't know. I don't think we look that different. That's just me.
Yeah, man. Anywho, so with that said,
younger.
You're funny. But with that said, guys, that's really something I want you to really look at and understand who your brand is. I do this for my personal brand. Like I have an idea of who my fan base is. And I'm not even advertising or really doing anything on that level. I'm trying to help everyone else out. So, Angel, you ready to rock?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, Win Union. I'll get you that. You know what I'll do? I'll make that Google Sheet separate in a different form. And you know what I'll do? I'll post it on my Twitter today. So just follow me on Twitter, Michael J. Trampe, or don't follow me. I don't really care. Just go there and I'll put it there and you can grab it. I just need to kind of like edit some stuff out and I'll send it over to you guys. Not a problem at all.
Can you guys see my screen?
Hold on. We got to add it to the stream. There we go. What I want to do though is that because I want to be able to see the full screen. That should be better. Everybody see? I just want to make sure everybody can see. I just got a message saying someone couldn't see my chart thing that I just posted.
Oh, okay.
Yep, I see it.
We're good. We're good now, I think. And you're fully expanded out, right, Angel? Like double click
Yes.
and expand. Okay, cool. So, Angel, how long have you been running ads, or have you, or is this just brand new, right? This is something you're just kind of starting?
I'm just kind of starting this. Like this is the third try that I've done so far. The other ones like failed miserably. But this is the first one that I've actually seen anything with. So, but I feel like it's still not quite where it needs to be.
For sure. So again, this is it's a slow process. This isn't instant success or instant gratification. This takes time and dedication. This takes, like I said, a lot of planning. So just everyone keep that in mind. This is a commitment you have to make, and you can do it. Before we dive in, you can do it $1, $2 a day, so you can stay under $100 a month easily, just to test things out. But so if you guys aren't running ads, there's a couple things to do first. So besides the things I just touched on, you go to facebook.com. You can go over to your ad manager. It's usually under the main menu or on your left-hand side under like your favorites and stuff like that. It might say ad manager, it might say ads. They've changed so much stuff over the years. And you would just want to open that up. And basically, if you never have run an ad, you'll have some basic things to do, like add a payment method and stuff like that. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Obviously, you can YouTube stuff like that, and they have help articles. Very easy stuff to set up, though. Then there is something called Business Manager, and it's something I've been using for years and years and years. So Business Manager is pretty much your business, and then underneath your business, you'll have different assets. Assets meaning pages you own, ad accounts you own, stuff like that. And so what you can do in Business Manager is you can apply those ad accounts and those pages into the Business Manager so you can actually run it from there. So whether you want to use just Ad Manager or you want to make a Business Manager, I would recommend doing that. You can use either one. At the end of the day, you're still using Ad Manager in Business Manager. It's just another step and a way to organize and then be able to give people access. So like Angel had to give me access to her account. She wanted Business Manager. She added me as an editor or whatever on her page, and then gave me access to the ad account. So definitely look into that. Do some research on that. That's a whole other topic. But we're in Ad Manager right now is within her Business Manager. So the most important thing that you should do if you have a website, which you should, or a pro page, which you should, is add your pixel. So, Angel, let's take them over to the pixel and just show them what this would look like. Yep. So what a pixel does is it's basically a piece of code that you can put on your website, and it will track different things that people do when they come to your website. So add a beat to the cart, play a beat, purchase a beat, stuff like that. What happens is Facebook will take that information and store it, okay? I guess in a cloud or, some sort of place where they're storing this information for you within your account. And what you can do then is actually remarket to people in the future. And remarketing is 100%, in my opinion, the number one thing we want to try to do eventually. But you can't do that until you actually have some type of warm audience that you can remarket to. So as you can see, she's got, some traffic coming into her page, page view content. You see these things, different things that are triggering within her account. So can you go to the, let's see, can you go to the settings, please? Yep. All right. So when you're setting up your account for your pixel, you'll have to go through a couple steps. She already did hers. So her pixel ID is right there. Can you just copy that pixel ID?
Okay.
Right. I know. Did you share with a Chrome tab or did you share your whole computer screen?
I shared the whole computer screen.
Perfect. Can you open up another tab then and just go to your BeatStars account, please? Yeah, Bufo, warm audiences. So really quick while she's doing that, warm and cold. Cold, think of it as you're just throwing spaghetti at the wall and hoping something sticks. But obviously it's not that. It's a lot more detailed the way I do cold audiences. But it's basically you're going after fans that may not know who you are. Maybe they do know who you are, but you just never have served ads to them. But it's a calculated, I guess you could call it a guess. But if you do that chart that I showed you, and I'll give to you guys after this, that's why it's important to do that, because your cold audiences, you want to get as in-depth as possible to reach those people. Warm audiences are just warmed up people. So think of it as a cold audience. You've never talked to someone and you're trying to sell them something. Going to be hard. Now, if someone has seen your content over and over again and they start to know who you are and they've interacted with your content, that's a warm audience. So they're warmed up. So it's easier to then convert to a sale down the road. So a lot of people skip cold audiences and just go right to the warm audiences, and then they try to serve them crappy content. And again, I'm not talking about the quality. I'm talking about how it's cut. And all these things are very important. We're going to touch on all them. All right. So if you go into your BeatStars account, and again, if you don't have a BeatStars account and a pro page, you should get one. That's the first thing. Secondly, if you don't, I understand some people use websites. You can take this code. There's a piece of code in the pixel that you can actually put on your website and part of the header, I believe. But for this, all we need is the pixel number, because we already integrated and did all that stuff for our members. So basically all you do is copy that pixel code and then go to your pro page on the back end in the marketplace, and you just pop it in right where it says Facebook pixel. Literally, that's it. Copy, paste, save. Give it some time to trigger, and it will start collecting data. That's it. We've made it super easy for you over at BeatStars. So anybody have questions about the pixel? I know that's a lot of questions were coming in earlier about talking about it, but I mean, like, in my opinion, there's not a ton to dive in. It's just installing it, understanding what it does, and then giving it time. Let's see here. Just checking questions. Cool. All right. Let's head back over to Facebook Manager, or Ads Manager, excuse me. Cool. So what I like to do before we run any types of ads is build audiences first. And there's a couple ways of doing that. So let's do that really quick. Let's go over to the menu up top, Angel, and just click down.
Hold on a second. It's still loading. It's not.
Okay. I was like, uh-oh, she froze.
Nope. It's just loading.
Beats by Bird. If you have a business manager account up left, she's in it right now in a business manager, I believe.
Yeah.
The screen's small for me, so I apologize. But
and right, so, which tab are we going to?
Let me see. It should be inside audiences right there. Yep. But yeah, it should be on the left-hand side when you log into the business manager, and you just hit add manager wherever you need to go. Yes. The pixel will definitely be effective if you don't have traffic. It doesn't matter if you have one person or 1,000 people coming at a time. Collect as much data as you possibly can, because what's going to happen, the whole point of putting this pixel is when we do these cold ads and we drive people to your pages, it's going to be collecting all that data. All right. All right. So there's a couple different things you can do for audiences. So let's pretend that me and Angel created an audience of who, like, we think, you know, is following her and who is her ideal audience for what she's trying to sell or what she's trying to promote or whatever it is. So the first thing I'm going to do is if we just hit create audience, and let's go to a saved audience. So this is the basic audience creator when you actually start your ad. So if you didn't do it this way and you just started an ad, you'll eventually get to this page. I think it's like the second page. So this is where you can actually dive in and find, people you're looking for. So the reason why ads are so big, and I think literally the best thing you can do as an entrepreneur, is because there's so much data. Like, I don't know anywhere else where you can find out all these little things about people. So just keep that in mind. So let's name this audience. Just call it Angel's main audience. Just so you know, it's a kind of like a real, like, broad audience, and you can make as many audiences as you want to. This is where I say get creative, test things out, mess with things. Don't worry about clicking custom audience. And now you're going to go down to location. So here is where the debates will start. Now, the thing with advertising is, and any real advertiser who has any experience will tell you that there's probably really no one way to advertise. It's all about testing. So something I might recommend, somebody else might tell you it's a bad idea, or they might tell you they don't do that. But just keep in mind, there's really no wrong ways when it comes to how you want to do your targeting. There's obviously wrong ways of doing ads, like your content and using the wrong pieces and using the wrong type of ad format, stuff like that. Hold on one second. Angel's over here shuffling deck of cards, it sounds like.
No, I'm just hurting my kids out.
Get them out of here. No, so here is how I've always done real broad cold audiences. And this is what I really want to touch on, because I think to get started, if people haven't really dove in, you really need to like just hone in from like a really broad perspective and see what the results are and go, whoa, this is a ton of crap coming in, but a lot of it just doesn't make sense. It's just not people who should be interacting on my brand. I need to go back and tweak something. So this is what we're going to do. So X out of that United States tab. And in that box, type in worldwide. Keep typing. It will come up.
It should come up.
Mm-hmm. Keep going. It will come up. There you go. First one. So what we're doing right now is we're targeting literally the whole world. Now, if you want to exclude different countries or areas, you can hit that little button. You see where it says include, exclude? It's right below worldwide, Angel. Just hover over that and click on it so they can see that. Mm-hmm. So if you wanted to exclude, say, whatever, like I don't want to go after the United States for whatever reason you have, you can do that there, and then you can just punch in the areas. So you can do that. You obviously don't have to put worldwide, and you can just start typing in countries. You can type in states. You can type in. There's a lot of stuff you can do. Years ago, it was a lot more easier. I literally used to target record label buildings down to the corners. You can pin. You can drop these pins. So I would pin it. So all the ads would go right into the labeled people in there, and I was hoping I was hitting the right people. It actually worked, but they've stopped a lot of that stuff. Anywho. Moving on, we're going to just stay worldwide and make this really, really broad. And we're going to scroll down. And now age is going to be a thing again, where you look at it and you say, okay, what is my age demo? And you can make a determination on that. Me, and a lot of people call me crazy for this, I literally go 13 to 65 because at the end of the day, I'm going to get my targeting outside of the age down so niche and perfect, in my opinion, that I don't care how old they are. If they're going to be involved with my content and are going to be a power fan eventually, I don't care. But if you do care and you really want to, fine tune that, it's obviously going to cut your audience size down. And obviously, if you're doing an event, when events come back, that is 21 and over, there's a lot of things that you want to mess with the age. For this kind of tutorial, we're just going to keep it 13 to 65.
13 to 65?
Yep, literally the lowest to the highest.
Okay.
Gender is going to be all. We don't discriminate here. Languages, I usually just go with English all, just because my ads are going to be in English and I just feel more comfortable with doing that. You can obviously look into other languages and different things if you would like. Okay. The other thing you got to think about this too is, I saw somebody saying something in the comments about 65. There's a lot of parents and grandparents out there that have kids right now and family members and relatives that are in the creative world, and especially with COVID are inside. And there's a lot of people hip. My mom's in her 70s. She's pretty hip. So if she saw an ad come across her Facebook account, she might hit me up and say something. So that's another reason. There's always word of mouth too that comes from a lot of this. So, all right. So we got English all, and now we're going to go to detailed targeting. So Angel, the majority of your beats that you make and that you're trying to get across to people, and you feel that, resonate with like what you're doing, like who are those artists in your opinion? Are there specific artists that you really kind of hone in on?
Like Erica Baidu. If it's trap, then I go like for my Joyner Lucas, Logic kind of artist that I'm
pop them in, start typing them in. Let's see. Now, the other thing people have to remember too is not every person is going to have an audience built in Facebook and Instagram. Logic Rapper. Yep, that's it. So if you type something in, it doesn't show up. Don't be like, Trampe's an idiot. This doesn't work. You can say that, but not everybody has one. You'll be surprised. Yeah, you'll be surprised some big artists don't, and then like you'll type in like some underground artist that you like and they have one. It's really weird, but yeah, go through, add a couple people.
I'm trying to think of how does Erica spell her name?
E-R, don't ask me actually.
ERYKAH.
KAH.
I'm a
Okay,
fan.
there you go.
Yep, there you go.
Okay,
Add
and
a couple more. Shout out to everybody holding it down in here and watching this. Listen, this is definitely boring, but it's amazing also, in my opinion. So it's something, if you're really serious about doing this, pay attention and test it out.
Also, shout out to Nate B on the beat. He won the spelling bee. I'm sorry, TM, you did not. John Davidson, you would have won if you had been sooner.
I'm trying to think of other artists, like rappers that are similar to Jordan Lucas that I could put in here.
Eminem.
Yes.
Now, you don't always have to use artists either. So this is, again, where it comes. I think with beats, it does make sense to do artists because a lot of you guys are making and girls are making type beats or inspired beats or whatever you want to call them. So it is a little bit easier. It's not as wide when it comes to genres and moods and stuff. So artists usually are. This is what I've used for my artists, and I'll tell you the audiences that we've used. Every time we run ads, we literally target Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, Joey Badass, Bishop Nehru, Wale once in a while, and that's it. That's all I've been doing for 4 years. And there's so many people interested in that brand and those brands and artists that we just continuously just keep converting fans. So stick with it. What do they say? If it's not broken, don't fix it or don't change it or whatever. Cool. That's enough. That's probably good. So now you're looking at this. You might be like, all right, cool. I got my artist. I'm ready to go. This is where I say, no, we're going to make this audience even more narrowed down and more in depth. So if you see right below all those people, you'll see a list that says narrow audience. So click that for me. So what this is going to do is, basically, you're setting up tiers of what people have to match to actually be served your ads. So in the first tier, they have to either be a fan of Eminem, Erica, J. Cole, etc. You see all the names. Mm-hmm. Now, what we're going to add in the next tier is once they hit and match one of those artists in that top tier, they have to also be a fan of the next tier. All right. So obviously, if these people listen to all these artists, they're probably hip hop fans. But let's make sure. So let's type in hip hop. Do hip hop music, I think it is. Okay. We're going to leave that just by itself. Let's narrow down again. I'm the king of narrowing, so get ready.
Okay. So you want to narrow this one down too?
Yeah. Keep narrowing it. Yep.
Gotcha.
We're going to type in freestyle rap because you're going after artists for the most part. If you just type in freestyle, yep, there it is.
There
all right. Okay. Now I'm going to narrow again. Okay, so this one is not going to be necessarily like an interest or an artist. We're actually going to do a behavior. So can you click suggestions to the right? Okay, or actually browse. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Browse.
Wait,
yeah, I don't know. There we go. So look for behaviors, and then we're going to look for. It's so small. I can't see. Let me see if I can make my screen bigger somehow. Can't. We are looking for page admin. Maybe you can just type in page admin in the box. It might actually just come up. Just try typing admin. Just type in admin, actually. It should come up, I think. Business. No, that's not. Page admin.
I believe you have to go to digital behaviors or something like that. Facebook page admin.
That's it. Thank you.
Yeah, so it's considered a behavior.
Yeah, I don't know why I can't. This like little window on our side is so tiny. I'm gonna have to look at my other screen. There we go. I can see better up here.
Digital behaviors.
No, so go back to.
No, I actually saw it. I saw it on your page.
Yeah, if you go back to browse and then go to the behaviors, there's a digital behavior in there, and then it's a page admin.
Okay.
Guys, what you'll find out too about this, so don't freak out, is that literally Facebook changes something every week. So it's
digital activities.
Yeah, my bad. They used to call it behaviors. Now they call it activities.
There you go. It's like BeatStars.
I think. Keep scrolling down. No, it's BeatStars is a lot better.
I know.
Facebook page admin. Yeah.
Okay, and then we have business page admins. Which one are we looking for? Which one is the business page?
Business page admin. So anybody who has a page is if they're a rapper or an artist, and they most likely have a page for their brand. If they don't, then you might not even want to target them because you want people who are a little bit serious and at least have a business page. So
nobody ever showed us this part. Of all the ads videos I've watched, it's never the straight to the point.
Yeah, this is what we do here. We don't sugarcoat anything, and you know why? And it's nothing against anybody else because people have to eat, and I'll never hate on anybody for eating, but I don't need to get paid to show people this. I get paid for doing other things. So giving this information out for free to me doesn't matter. It doesn't hurt me. It helps in my opinion. So, all right, cool. So I think we're good on that. Something else we can do too is go to add a connection type at the bottom, and just you want to exclude people who like your page already. So what we're going to do is just not go after anybody who is already a fan of your page, just because we already know they're engaged with your stuff and we can hit them another way. Okay. Hit create saved audience.
Okay. Okay. Create saved audience.
You got it.
Okay. So.
Okay, so that is audience number 1 based off of, we're going to pretend like Angel did her chart and broke everything down. And in this case, she would probably break it down by age, maybe location, etc. Now, guys, you have to realize too, if you're going to go after the United States and the United States only, you're going to be spending money. You can do $1 and $2 a day, but you're going to have a low reach. Overseas countries, well, if you're in an overseas country, America's overseas, but you get what I'm saying. I'm in America, overseas countries, other countries are a great way to build out your fan base, and there's a lot of opportunity too. So, but just keep in mind that it's not like apples and apples. It's apples and oranges when it comes to targeting the United States and outside. It's completely different and a lot more expensive, just by click rate or whatever you're doing. So interaction rate, etc. All right, cool. So next thing we want to do is we want to hit create an audience. And we did this the other day, Angel, but we're going to pretend like we didn't. Okay. You're going to go to a custom audience. The reason I'm showing you guys all this stuff first is because advertising in itself, running ads, is, in my opinion, the simplest thing in the world once you figure out the technology. All right. What is hard is creating great content and building audiences. So this is where you should spend the most of your time. Okay, so what we want to do is, Angel's like, yeah, I got a dope ass Instagram page. I would love to be able to show people who mess with me from my Instagram interactions. Guess what? We can do that. So just click Instagram account. That's going to populate, and then you can, if you got to have your Instagram account connected, which I'm not going to go through that. You can just Google that. It's very easy to do. So up top where it says, can you click the who met any of the following criteria? I just want to see what is on the track. Just above? One? Nope, the one above it. Any? What is that? Just keep it at any. Any is fine.
Okay.
All right, so her page is connected, and now we have a different drop-down menu. So everyone who engaged with your professional account, I think it says, click that drop-down so everybody can see what that menu looks like.
Which one?
The one right below?
This one.
Yep. So basically, you can pinpoint people who have done specific things on your page. So if you want to keep it super broad and just make sure you get every single person who's interacted with your Instagram page in one audience, keep it clicked where it is. Now, if you want to go after people who have specifically engaged with a post or an ad you've run in the past, click that. For now, let's just keep it the top one. But I wanted to show you guys, what you can do here. You can also include more people, exclude people. There's a lot of more in-depth stuff that you can do. And I again would tell you, try shit out. For these, you can go back a year, I believe. Can you click the little I next to the word days? And it will give you the information right there. So 365 days, we'll keep it a year. Go to your name your audience tool down below and just name it, Angel's Instagram traffic.
Okay.
Audience. Yeah, guys, this will be on our Twitch channel after, and YouTube, I do believe. So Okay, and just hit create audience. Okay, hit done. Hit create audience again. We're going to do the same thing we just did for Instagram and do it for Facebook. I would just keep the broad one for now. I'm not going to get too technical with everybody. And just name it Angel's Facebook audience.
That's not what I want to say.
Guys, I hope as you're watching this too, please try to ask questions. I'll try to answer them, and hopefully Payne can help me moderate, but definitely save some for the end. We'll take like 20 minutes to answer questions at the end. Oops, I didn't mean to click that. But I hope that you're just already starting to see. I hope everybody's having the holy fucking shit moment right now where they're like, I didn't know we could do this, because dude, there's so many ways to reach your target audience and do it in a way that is going to grow organically and really help you overall. Once you figure this out and understand you control your own destiny when it comes to this, you're going to be good money. And it's like, this is stuff that I've been doing for years and years and years. So I really hope everybody is really taking heed and applies it. All right. So what we basically did was we just created an audience that we can serve ads to from her Instagram, from her Facebook, and stuff like that. So in her audiences, you can see, can you just scroll down just a tad bit, Angel, on the audiences there? All right, right there. Stop right there. So basically we made these, when was that? 2 days ago, it says, Angel, 8/11?
Yeah. Yeah.
So we made this there, and we did what we just did, but we actually did people who interacted with her post or ads. I don't know if she ran any ads really, so it was probably really just people interacting with her posts. And what is that audience size? Is that 32 or 3,300? I can't see.
3,200.
So she has 3,200 people right now that she's interacted with on Instagram that she could start serving ads to if she wanted to. I wouldn't yet. I feel like Angel is still in her cold audience role. I don't think she's ready to remarket. Now, some might argue and say you can remarket as soon as you have any audience. My worry with that is, and concern with that is, if you have such a small audience, 3,200 people, is, don't get me wrong, it's a lot of people, but it's from an advertising perspective, and it's serving ads all day. Or even if you structure them to only be sent out at a certain time, you're eventually going to be serving the same ads to the same people, and you're going to start pissing people off probably. So keep that in mind. I don't think that audience is big enough yet, unless you wanted to do something really specific for your community and give away something for free, or you just want to get something out to people, you could.
Right.
But from an overall ad perspective, I would probably wait a little bit. We also did her Facebook the other day, I think too.
We just did Instagram.
Oh, okay, so we didn't do it, so we don't see what that is. But as you can see, the ones we just did, Facebook, Instagram, they're below 1,000. They're populating, and then your website pixel
it's still pending.
Okay, that we did the other day, so that might take a little bit. And then your saved audience will actually, is that in there too, the saved one? If not, it will be in when you actually create your ads.
No, it's not in
Okay.
there.
No worries. All right, so one last time, let's hit create audience and just hit custom audience, and just let's give an overview of everything else that's included here. Okay. So there's website, which is obviously your pixel. Your app activity, you don't have to really worry about that, and offline activity. This is a lot of more in-depth stuff that I just don't think you guys need to worry about right now, and maybe not at all. And then there's some other things too. So one of the other things that I think is amazing, and I think people really sleep on, and Payne might have showed this in his last video. Unfortunately, Payne, I'm sorry I didn't see it, but click the customer list.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. All right, so this is where you can take your emails from your email list and different places like that, and you can actually take your CSV file and implement them in here, and you can find every single person that has a Facebook or Instagram account based on their emails. So if I use, Mike Trampe at BeatStars.com, which is my email, as my Facebook and Instagram account sign up, I would get put in that audience if you had my email. It's not. Okay, so here
Wait a minute, Angel.
I feel
she attended She attended the session. She attended the session where I explained all of this, and now I'm hearing her say, "Holy crap!" Like this is a magic trick that Mike just performed.
Like you
in
didn't
front of everybody else.
show us.
I'm a little offended. I'm muting myself again. I'm a little offended. I'm gonna mute myself. This is the last thing I'm gonna say.
Like he didn't show us this part, like this right here, where to drag those in and put them in here. He showed us that told us we could do that. I just didn't know how to do that.
So
but now I do.
Listen, he was peppering it up for me so I could come in here and just drop the bomb on everybody.
Right.
But anywho, so I'll tell you a quick, like 2 seconds, well, not 2 seconds, like 2 minute story. Back in the day when I used to advertise, right, there was this website that, and I could just show you what the power of the reach of what you used to be able to do before, obviously Mark Zuckerberg got dragged up the court and a lot of things have changed.
Right.
But back in the day, you could literally they weren't as strict with the emails. So there was a website that you could actually tap into and get every single person's email from a company. So what we would do is we would scrape emails from all the record labels, all the Spotify employees, everything, and then run them through here and find everybody on social media and serve them ads with dope ass music. We would do it respectfully and not like overly, like extending like too much of it, but that's what we used to do. And it worked. Like we got added to a lot of different playlists and a lot of different things. Unfortunately, they changed it. And I mean, really, you probably shouldn't be doing that anyway, because at the end of the day, you need to have permission to use these emails.
Right.
But that's how loose the ad system used to be to do things like that. I even read an article about a guy who narrowed an audience down to his roommate. One person used to be able to narrow it down to one person, and he used to serve his roommate ads of all things that was happening in his life. And the kid literally like freaked out because he thought someone was spying on him. Funny story. But so this is what you can do with this, right? So you can add your customers' information here. You can put as much information as you want. You just need the email, in my opinion. And you can add it here. So as long as you have permission from, people subscribing to your newsletter, subscribing to get a free beat. This is where giving a free beat for an email is huge on BeatStars and why I recommend it.
Right. I see the import from MailChimp. I am so going to do this.
Exactly. So, but yeah, so listen, this is all ways. I just showed you what 1, 2, 3, 4, like 5 ways, I think, to set up an audience. So this is why, if you don't have this information about who your audience is or an idea of who your audience is, where it comes in, because you're gonna have to build these saved audiences from scratch. You're gonna have to kind of guess of who you're going after. But the more you have, the more emails you have, the more data you have. This is all about data at the end of the day. So why the pixel is super important and why you should be running cold ads to drive traffic to then go back and then use those ads in the future. So next, content, or actually questions. Maybe we stop in between each little segment, 5 minutes, take any questions, because I don't want people to forget anything they wanted to ask.
Okay.
Let's see. Anybody have any quick questions about any of the stuff I just showed you? Give everybody a minute.
To ask questions.
I actually have to blow my nose. Excuse me. Mute myself.
Oh my God. Babe, they can see you.
It's okay. Yeah, you can import any kind of CSV file that contains emails. So in the video that I have online, which was from a previous session, I exported emails from my BeatStars account. I exported emails from my MailChimp. You could create, theoretically, if you for some reason have been using your own kind of email list without a third party, you could just create a CSV file with that and import it right into Facebook. So Facebook only requires a CSV account. They also tell you to only import emails that opted in. So don't just go and scrape emails that can actually get you in trouble.
Like I did.
Yeah, don't do what Mike did. Well, you can't even do it anymore.
No, you can't do it anymore. This was 5-6 years ago, guys. It was the Wild Wild West with advertising. Like we literally, just to give you an idea, I was before I was full time at BeatStars. I was managing about 200 and some Facebook pages and multi-million dollars worth of advertising from multiple people. So there's a lot of stuff that I figured out. And I did this again, all by testing. Like no one ever showed me like a video like this in my life. So it's just all about testing things out and seeing what works.
Right.
Really quick, not to cut anybody off, but I saw Illmind say something that I was going to touch on, but then I wasn't, because I don't want to confuse people. But if you do have a large amount of emails or a large amount of data already, There's something in here. Can you just say create audience again? There's something called a lookalike audience. This isn't going to really make sense for people who are just kind of getting started. But what you can do is you can implement a source. So if you want to do an email list or a pixel, there's a bunch of things you should be able to pull from, as you can see from the dropdown. So basically, a lookalike audience is Facebook and Instagram are going to take the information you provide them and go through it and say, okay, you know, all these people are, you know, look like they're rappers and, you know, they live in these areas and they're into this and they're into that, whatever it is. And they're going to actually try to duplicate those audiences from people who are not with your data. So pretty much they're just going to say I was in someone's data source, like an email list or something, and I ran this through a lookalike. And they're running it through. They're probably going to find Payne 1 eventually because we have a lot of stuff in common. And I'm sure we match up on Facebook when we fill in our information and everything that we do on social media. They're pretty much just going to find people that are similar that are already involved with your audience. So you can pick 1%, 2%, 3%, all these different things to how big it will be. I usually keep it anywhere between 1% and 3%, just because I don't want it to become so wide and so big that it just might not be accurate. But I would save this until you guys have enough data to run it. I don't think it makes sense to run it when you have 100 people in your email list. So keep that in mind. Do more research. Lookalikes is something that can definitely be beneficial.
Okay.
All right. So let's see. Any more questions really quick? YouTube, we could do something with YouTube after this. I mean, dude, we're already like an hour into this show. I told Payne this is going to be 2 hours minimum because it's just so much information. YouTube.
How about we schedule a future session?
Yeah, we could do that too.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
okay,
what I do on YouTube, dude, is not as in depth as this. The way I do YouTube ads is really, I think, strange, but it works. So I don't do it traditionally how people do it. But all right, let's get back into this. So, Angel, we talked about audiences and building them and how important they are. And then the other thing we talked about is the content. Okay.
Yes.
So I know you basically set up some content for these ads, right?
Yes.
Do you have those? Is there any way we can see them?
If I can find them, I don't want to give you OCD.
Oh yeah.
But I can probably go to the ad that I have running and show you that.
Perfect. Yep.
Because my folders is like all over the place.
You got that sociopath desktop going on?
Actually, no. Surprisingly, I don't. It's not too bad.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
No, it's not bad.
That's not bad at all. It's good to me.
Let's see. I go to the I got the spinning wheel of death here. Hold on.
All good.
Okay, I go to this one. And then I want to see my ad set. Okay. Will it show me the ad?
Yeah, there's actually a spot in Business Manager, and even I think it's Ad Manager too, that actually shows all your content too, I believe. I forget exactly where it is, but we can look at it this way.
Okay.
Did you hit share with sound? Or I don't think you can when you share multiple windows, so it doesn't really matter. So, well, actually, it does matter. So something you guys specifically with beats want to focus on is starting your beats when they're hitting the hardest. Do not just put a beat up there with a visual or whatever you're working on. Do not start it with some long intro. You have to remember, the way you're going to be serving these ads most likely are going to be on people's feeds, in IG stories, in Facebook stories, in recommended videos, things like that. You have 3 to 5 seconds to wow somebody and grab their attention. Okay? So start when a beat is hitting. Start when it's got its best point, you think, that's going to grab people. So keep that in mind. I see too many people doing that and just literally having some long intro to start, and I can't even get into it. Secondly, I would definitely recommend video content over pictures or graphics. Now, we could argue about this. So if you feel like pictures, you can make a better ad, try it out. I would actually recommend trying it out. Don't take my word for it, and see kind of what works. But I like video content just because there's so much that you can do with it. If you start it in the right spot, you can really grab people's attention. Now, you're probably asking yourself, well, how do I get people to be interested in my content so they do want to interact with my ad? So if they don't know who you are, like I said before, you really don't want to be like, hey, I got beats for sale, or hey, beats for $19.99, or hey. Most people probably aren't going to engage with something that's pushing them to buy something right off the bat. So what I recommended to Angel, and I've recommended to a lot of different people, is with cold ads, I would actually push people to get involved with downloading something for free, which in exchange, they'll give you your email. So then you're sending your page, you're getting your pixel traffic, you're getting their email. 2 ways that you can target them in the future. Run a contest. Maybe you get some money up and give away $100, $200 worth of merch or cash or whatever you want to do. Be careful with the cash thing. I know there's some stipulations about running cash type of contests, so be careful with that, but you get the drift. So if I'm an artist and I'm scrolling through Angel's feed and the visuals are dope, I recommend bright colors. You can actually do some research. That's a whole nother topic. Google best colors to use for ads. There's actually a lot of case studies and reports on that of what to use. Obviously, if your brand is dark, stick with your branding is. But I've seen success with some brighter colors, even if it's like a picture and the person has a bright shirt on. There's different things that will spark people's eyes. Secondly, you're going to get sparked with the music. And if it's hitting, like I said, and started in the right spot, right now you got them locked in visually. You got them locked in listening. Now, what is the text going to be? Text can literally make or break your ads. So if you're going to be giving something away for free, which I recommend on your cold audience ads, entice people. Giving this beat away for free. You know what I mean? Like whoever has the best, can make the best song is going to win this or whatever it is. At the end of the day, people like free stuff. And if your targeting is good and the content is good that you're presenting to them, they are going to probably click on it. And then you're going to get that information. They're going to get their free beat. Now, the reason I say a contest is cool is because then you can kind of entice them to do other things, like upload it back to Instagram and use the hashtag, Angel Ray Beats or Angel Ray Contest. And you can track it that way too and actually build up some type of contest. I'm not going to tell you what type of contest to do or what type of way to get people, but there's tons of ways of doing it. You just have to think outside the box and think of something exciting and think like a consumer yourself. What would make you stop dead in your tracks to actually click on an ad? What makes you interested in something if somebody doesn't know who you are? This is where the testing comes into play. This is where you should probably be spending most of your time after you make the content and you make your audiences. Really test different things out. Payne, what were you saying earlier? You tested titles, colors, I believe you said. Like, break that down really quick so they have an understanding, because I want them to hear it from an actual producer standpoint who's been running ads. Like, what did you do? You had an audience, so you had emails, you had traction. So I think your ads were a little bit, I'm not gonna say easier, but like if you were just starting out and you wanted people to come and download a free beat so you can get some information back from them, what would you do? What would be your ideal ad right now?
My ideal ad would, I would use my popular beats. I think that was the biggest mistake I made. So I would test different ads with different types of beats, and the beats that caught people right away were the beats that ended up doing the best. And I had data on that because I just looked at my BeatStars. I mean, you don't have to be selling beats like crazy to know which beats are appealing to people. You can check your Instagram posts to see how many comments you're getting. You can check your YouTube views. You can check your free downloads in your BeatStars Pro Page account. Right. Just use some type of data. So figure out which beats people already like and use those. There's no purpose in not being sure about the beats that you upload, because time is money. And secondly, some text works better than other text. So maybe trap and soul beats doesn't work. Maybe Angel goes back and says and phrases her ad as a question. Do you are you sick of trap beats and you need some soul in your life? So it just consider your brand, consider what you think really could work based on some actual thought about how you're writing copies. Scroll down your own timeline, see what other ads people are using who are selling similar stuff. If it looks like their ads getting a lot of engagement, then by all means analyze what they're doing and try to adapt it to your own advertising strategy.
Do you want to touch on that real quick about how you can see what other people are running ad-wise? You familiar with that? I think we've talked about this.
I would trust you to do that more than I would trust myself.
I'm not going to dive too deep into it, but basically you are able to see, kind of what kind of ads people are running, and kind of what kind of ads they have going and the content that they're using. Now, you can't dive in and steal their audiences, but if you want to go see what DJ Payne One's running, you can go and you can actually see that information on his Facebook page. Just Google it. There's information. I'm not going to dive because that's again in a whole nother, I think, tutorial that you could talk about. But
And on the couch.
Yeah, on the couch. You want to do this all on the couch for sure.
Sorry.
No, I'm messing with you. But yeah, I mean, like, listen, there's tons of ways to entice people. You just have to test things out, what will work for your market. And at the same time, like, you could have something great, but maybe your audience is wrong. So there's a lot of things that could go wrong.
Right.
That's why I always tell people, start with $1, $2 a day, and kind of and then take a step back after a week and say,
Right.
this happened. Well, what can I do to make this happen? Like, there's different things, but like, shock value is great when it comes to ads too. Like, your text up top could be something as simple as, download this beat for free and make a song, and whoever's got the dopest one, I'll give them a 10-pack of beats for free, all unlimited. Like, something. There's got to be ways when you're first starting to entice people to actually want to come and check out your stuff. Now, the other thing too that you could be doing is, if you're a creator, producer, whatever it is, you don't always have to be just using beats as your content. Maybe you have a talking point you would like to discuss. Maybe you have something else that's educational that you would like to give back. You can use all these things as ways for people to engage with your content. So say, you're A1 with the mixing, right? And, that's what you do. You're engineer, you're producer, but you're really engineer, and you hone in. And this could be something that you could do ad videos and serve people to, and drive them again to download a free PDF or download whatever it is, in exchange for an email of basic tips of things. So I'm giving you really general stuff, but this is where you guys and girls have to come into play and think of it. I don't know all your brands, so I can't really say, hey, do exactly this. But there's a lot of things that you can be doing. And like I said, if you try different things, and you're going to find some stuff works, some stuff doesn't. So think of it like that. But yeah, so I'm looking at your text, Trap and Soul Beats. Check out these dope beats along with some beats will help. This to me would be an okay ad for a warm remarketing audience. If I'm an artist and I don't know who you are, Angel, I may click one, but I probably won't. I think your verbiage has to come across a little bit more friendly, a little bit more non-salesy, and a little bit more engaging. Asking questions is good. Getting feedback is good. The end of the day, you're trying to build you're trying to retain people, right? So you're trying to get them to come back and come back and come back. That's what building a community and audience is. You're trying to get them engaged with your content. So think of it as not always trying to sell people stuff, but more about just talking to them. Now, there's a whole debate of long form ads, and I think this really makes more sense for somebody who's selling a course. And I'm sure you've seen a lot of different ads on social media from specific companies who are doing specific things, and they're trying to sell you something that will help you get somewhere. Okay, so they're selling something that's going to help you get somewhere. So they're going to tell you this long form. When I first started back in 2013, things are so different. But then I noticed Once I figured out I could do, you get what I'm saying? So those things actually work because they're stories. People like stories. So you can even look into that possibly, depending on what the piece of content is. All right. So could even be something cool to do about a beat. Like, hey, I started this beat. This is how the beat came about. There's, like I said, tons of ways of doing stuff. But I would focus on free, offer value.
Okay.
Get something in return for it, and just continue that on for a little while. This is where people give up. I want to sell beats now. That's all I want to do. People don't want to put in the time, but this is what I'm telling you. This is where it becomes crucial. You have to take your time. You have to present these ads in a way where they don't come off super salesy and just trying to get people to buy stuff. This is a long-term play. This isn't a quick thing. Okay. So keep that in mind. Now, you got your content. You got your audiences figured out. You got everything rocking and rolling. You're about to start your first ad. Let's go back to your ad manager where you can create ads.
I'm surprised it's loaded today because I usually can't use Chrome to do this.
Interesting. All right, so hit create. And this is where people make a lot of mistakes too, and I'll explain why. I think she froze.
It's spinning.
It's all good. Yeah, you're frozen on my screen.
Okay, there we go.
All right, there we go. All right, so this is the screen you're going to land on when you're actually going to like start an ad. And you're going to see a lot of different ad types. Now, I think when we talked the other day, Angel, I was like, I couldn't figure out what kind of ad you ran. And we figured out you picked landing page views, I think, on some type of traffic ad, I believe, or something. Yeah. Okay, so those type of ads, in my opinion, you should not be doing at all with cold audiences. The traffic ads are more detailed to when you have a warmed up audience and you have more likelihood of people clicking, and they already are engaged with your brand and your music. What I would suggest is the first column for brand awareness or reach. I like brand awareness, so let's click brand awareness. Now, the point of brand awareness ads are exactly what it says. You can just pick a name, just test or something, whatever you want to put. Brand awareness ads are just that. They're bringing awareness to your brand. Now, while at the end of the day, we want people to click, and you would think, hey, I should probably do a link click ad or a landing page ad so I can really get people to click. If your content is that good and your audience that you created is that good, the engagement that you get from the brand awareness ads is going to translate into, one, followers. That's why I never do following ads. I don't even know if they have them anymore. We push ads to get followers. The stupidest thing in the world. And it's going to translate into people most likely clicking, even though that's not the objective. So there's a couple things you're aiming for here. You're looking to grow your audience. You're looking to drive people. Awareness ads are super cheap and the best way to start testing. So hit continue.
What about this brand budget optimization?
I mean, I don't know. I don't really divil and dabble and all that. I've just done things the same way for so many years. Again, if you want to see what it does, you can do that. The other thing before that, which is fine, you don't have to go back, it's to create an A/B test. So split testing is something that happens in advertising. It's literally what I explained earlier, that advertising is all about testing. So it's literally running the same ad, maybe with something different. Maybe test A has DJ Payne 1 with sunglasses on, and test B has DJ Payne 1 with no shirt on. Okay, pause. So which ad is going to convert? It will put them side to side and we'll say shirtless DJ Payne 1 has totally tanked. We want sunglass DJ Payne 1. So it's a way to kind of compare. So you feel free to mess around with split testing. I think though when you're just getting started, I don't think it's really necessary. But that's just my opinion. Now that we're in your ad for your brand awareness, you want to hit ad set name up top. So we can just call it whatever you want to name the ad. So, I mean, we're just doing a test, but say like your campaign name is August Beats. And then your ad set name would be, maybe, I don't know. Just put August Beats. I don't want to confuse people. This is all really personal choice here, guys. So it's like, that's why I'm like hesitant to say something.
That's not what I wanted to type. Okay, there we go.
All right. So we have a saved audience that we created. Remember, we did that firsthand. So as you can see in here, you can build the audience like we did earlier, but we did that already. So let's go to, what was it? Angel Ray's audience, or what was that main one that we made?
I can't, it's not here yet. It may not be ready.
Okay. No worries. So basically what we did earlier, you can do here as well. Okay.
Yes.
So just pick let's pick one of your warm audiences, like your Instagram audience or something that we had 3,000 people.
Okay, right here.
That's it right there. Yep. All right. Actually, no, I don't want to do this because there's a lot of things you need to do with a custom audience, and I don't want to. Let's just do a saved audience. Just pick whatever. It doesn't matter. Let's pretend that the saved audience that we just made that had Eminem and Logic and all that. That's what we're using. So let's pretend that's this. So it will all populate in here. Okay. What does that say? Detailed target isn't available. Whatever. Basically, it will populate in this box here the audience that we built. And you shouldn't have to tweak anything. Right. Or if you don't want to do that, you can literally build it in here the same way we did it in the audience manager. Okay. Scroll down. So now you have a choice of where you want your ads to go. They're always going to tell you recommended all placements. The reason they want to do this is they want to be able to serve ads to a lot of their third-party people. So they have a lot of third-party apps that they have deals with. I'm not interested in that. If you want to test it out, go for it. I do manual placements. And for this ad specifically, the way I do things is I break things down by platform. So for this one, let's just do Instagram feed only. That's all I want to hit is the whatchamacallit page. I can't think of the name. Just scroll down. I'll tell you what it is when I see it. Instagram Explorer. So all we want to target is Instagram Explorer and Instagram feed. Get rid of the stories. Keep going. See, these are all the third-party things that they offer. Blah, blah, blah. Keep going. Okay. To get started, I would do a daily budget and set a calendar reminder in your phone. You can also do a lifetime budget. I hate it. I honestly, and again, this could be straight tinfoil hat, speculative conspiracy theory thinking going on, but I feel like when you set a lifetime budget, can you click that little drop down just so they see it? Lifetime budget. I feel like the ads do not perform as well as doing a daily budget. I swear Facebook and Instagram looks at it as going, oh, wow, this person's consistently going to spend this money every day. Just what I think from doing this for a long time. So I always stick the daily budget. If you're worried about forgetting about it, set a calendar or not a calendar, an alarm in your phone or whatever it is, or even a calendar invite. Now you can pick and choose when you want to start it. If you want to do that, you can also make your ads only run at a certain time. I usually just let them run 24/7. If you want to get more granular and break things down, you can do that. It's probably not going to let you go because there's something up with your audience that you picked. It was, go back up to it and then just hit edit. We can fix this really quick. It's right below. Yep, right there.
Let me see if this, I don't know. I think this is one of those trial and error audiences that I set up.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see what the error is, though, that they're giving you. Don't click a custom audience. Okay. Because then we're going to have to change a bunch of other stuff, and I don't want to confuse people. Okay. I don't know what. Oh, see where it says detailed targeting expansion? Click right off. They got rid of that. That's why. So you got to click the little edit right there. Turn that thing off. It doesn't let you. Lovely. Okay. So can you pick another audience then?
Let's see.
Just click X out of this. And then go back up to audiences and then go to saved audience. Don't use a custom. Try to get a saved one. Doesn't really matter what it is. It's just using this for a quick example.
Nope, that one's
same thing. Too. Yeah, you probably put detailed expansion on every one, so we won't have this problem with it. Yeah.
I think that's what it was.
Lovely.
We can quickly randomly create one if we need to.
Just leave it at that. Like, just don't even pay. It's already got United States 18 through 65 with no other targeting on there. So, guys, just pretend like the audience we built earlier, that we had Logic, and when we narrowed down like 3-4 times, pretend that's in there. Okay. So just scroll all the way down to the bottom. I don't want to get too bogged down with waiting on that. Hit continue. Up top, it's going to ask you to name your ad again, the ad name. So you can just name that whatever based off, what ad you have it in and what campaign you have it in. Obviously, we're doing Instagram only. So your Facebook account has to be connected, which it is. But below that, her Facebook account is attached, as you can see, Angel Ray, but her Instagram is not clicked. So you have to drop that down and click her Instagram. Boom. Now, This is where it becomes fun. So this is your content. So you can either go to use existing post and actually go onto your Instagram page, because I'm doing just an Instagram ad here by itself. So you can either pick a post that you've already done, and you can run the ad on that post, or you can create a brand new ad. So if you see that what she's doing, she's going to her Instagram, she's going to her account.
Really? This is
No. Click that. No, click that drop down. Click feed.
okay. I was like, wait a minute.
It's a bug. No, they should definitely have something there. I ran into this the other day.
Okay. Why? Let me click out. What post?
I think it's a bug. I really do.
Because I know I have post on my Instagram.
It's probably a bug.
I'll just use this one because it's on my Instagram too.
So let's just pretend that was an Instagram only post, just because, well, I think you can actually use the Facebook content on the Instagram, so it should be fine. So if you wanted to use this as your ad content, you can. So if you want to curate the content for your wall, perfect example for my artist J Tech. That's what we just did for his single he dropped on Friday, running in Quicksand. We front faced the post. We ran the main ads to there. And we have like 9 different ads going to one post. So we'll try narrow down on Spotify and drive people to Spotify. We'll narrow down, and so we've even narrowed down and drove people to Genius to check out the lyrics. Like there's tons of stuff that you can do. So now if say you wanted to actually just create the ad in-house, can you just hit create ad instead of using existing post?
Oh, wait, there we go.
Okay, so there's a couple things you can do. For what we're doing with this kind of like cold ad is we're going to do a single video or image. You can do a carousel. Carousel also, and I would recommend using carousels for remarketing stuff. If you have like a bunch of beats you want to show off, I think even Payne uses carousel ads. Every month he swaps out his top beats probably, and yep, thumbs up. So let's stick to the single page, or it's not single page, single image or video. Scroll down a little bit. We want to hit just X out of, yep, click that. All right, so hit add media, hit add video.
Oh wait, I might actually have something. I'll use this.
Yep, so you already have all your content in there. If you don't, you just hit upload, depending on the dimensions. Okay, scroll down a little bit. This is where you can type in your primary text, what you want to say. So if I was running this Instagram ad, this might be a dope place to do a contest. Like I'm giving away 2 beats for free right now, or I'm giving away whatever, a beat for free, and whoever, once you download it, make your song, upload it back. Or you don't even have to write all that. You can probably put that on a landing page, like in the description. You can just say like, download this beat for free and have a chance to win your whole album produced by me or something. Again, I'm not going to tell you guys what to do. You need to think. We're all creative, so I know everybody watching this and who's going to watch this has creativity. So this is where it comes into play and where it becomes fun. So now where it says add website URL, this is where it's super important. You don't want to just run an ad and not have a destination. So you want to click that.
Did it like?
Give it a second. It looks like it's delayed. You want to pop the URL to your landing page in there. Ideally, if it's for BeatStars, you want to send them to your pro page and send them directly to the beat they are downloading for free. Or if you're in the case where you're, marketing and advertising to push sales, you would, direct them to that beat as well. Okay, your call to action button, I would probably say download. There should be a download one.
I probably skipped over it.
Up top, it's in alphabetical order, I think.
Yes, there we go.
Okay, so if you're enticing people for a free download, having download is going to make people also see. It's going to trigger them to go, oh shit, I can download it just by clicking this link. Now, a lot of times what I see people doing with their ads, and not only their ads, with their YouTube channels, things of that nature, when they're promoting their beats, all they do, if they don't have anything, that's horrible, and you have to have something in there. But I'll see a lot of people who only put like their full page. So MikeTrampe.com, which is fine because it drives people to there. But you want to make things so simple for fans, customers, whoever it is. You have one chance to wow people with the content and then another chance to wow them with how easy the transaction or the download is. So if this is the beat you're using for a contest or giving away for free or whatever it is, the link should go directly to the beat. Do not send them to the main page where they have to go searching for it.
Right.
Make it so simple that they land on it and they can just download.
What I did on that ad that I have running, I took the individual beat link directly to that whatever one they slid to, the link would go directly to that particular track.
Perfect.
So
So an update we just did on Pro Pages, you can now have track lists on your Pro page. All right. This is huge, in my opinion, from an advertiser's perspective. So if you want to put 5 beats in a track list and have them all for free download, you could literally give away a free pack. So what's better than 1 free beat? 5. But they're really not free. They're going to be tagged or untagged if you wish, but I would definitely recommend tagged, and you're going to get an email in return. So it's not all free. You're paying for data, okay? And you're paying for that data to actually remarket to people in the future and build an audience. So definitely utilize the track lists because I think that's just a great way to package some stuff together. You can also, and this might be jumping ahead, but once you guys get rocking and rolling, you can make a track list. Say you're heavy on the, and I just use Drake because he's like an easy example, but say you're heavy on the Drake and you got 10 Drake beats that are just fire.
right.
You can make a Drake track list, put it on your Pro page, and then run your ads going after nothing but Drake, narrowed down to, hip hop, freestyle rap, and business page admins. And your conversion rate on that is going to probably be high because you're getting so niche and getting so specific with who you're going after, and every piece of content is going to be Drake. So there's other ways, and you can do that with tons of different artists. You could have a Tory Lanez one, you could have a Drake one, you could have an Eminem one. Like you could have 20 ads running, 30 ads, 40 ads. Like, again, budget comes into play here, but for just starting, I think this is a good way to kind of get your foot in the door and kind of see what's going on. There's just so much data and ways to convert fans here. So yeah, after this, we would just scroll down. The most important thing is that tracking and making sure it says Facebook Pixel is on. If you don't have that on, excuse me, you're not going to collect any of that data. Languages, you don't really need to worry about that for translations and stuff. And then you would just hit confirm. You don't have to hit it or you can, and then just turn it off if you want to just, show people what it looks like.
I wonder if I can say this is a template instead.
If you just X out of this and leave, when you come back in, it will ask you to it'll ask you to restart the ad as long as you don't start another ad.
Okay.
Tech, yes, you could run a carousel ad for the track. Absolutely. So you could have, if you have 10 tracks, I forget how many carousels you get.
10.
You can do 10. Okay, that's what I thought. So you could have every beat in there. Sure, you could absolutely do that. So this is something I think would be better for once you have an audience built up and you've already got some movement on stuff. My goal, and what I'm suggesting to everybody here, you can obviously do whatever you want, is getting people in a cold audience to engage with your content. Find it, make it interesting, make it fun. Giving somebody something for free is always the best way to go. You can ask any marketer, any advertiser. Everybody's giving something away for free to get you to click. So think about that and how you would be interested in, being advertised to, and what would make you want to click something. Any questions? Allergies. Yeah, any questions? Let's see. Checking my notes to make sure I didn't miss anything. We covered a lot of stuff. All right. Would I run what to a cold audience? You can run anything you want to anybody. There's no set rules again. But I probably wouldn't run a carousel ad unless you're giving every beat away for free, which you could do. But you can absolutely do do carousels tech with like overall speeds to go after overalls fans. Absolutely. Just know though, if you're going after an audience though that you've never engaged with and they might not know who the hell you are, it's going to be harder to convert sales. And plus, once you start running ads to really push for, you're really going after warm audiences for sales. That's when you start getting into link click ads and different types of ads that way. You can still do awareness ads. I only do awareness ads for JTech. It's because I know the music and the content's that good, and I know we've got our target base down so well that I know that it's going to lead to clicks just based off what I know. So that's why I'm telling you how it's important to test things out and know what's going on, because you are only going to know about your audience. You're going to only know about your music. You're only going to know about your content. You know best. So 100 emails to start to remarket. Yeah, I'd wait.
Yeah.
I build that up. I think it's a little too small. Like I said, there's a thing in your reporting. All right, so she has an ad up. So this is actually something cool really quick. So here's the reporting as it comes in. You see this frequency number here, Angel? If you can just hover over it. It's to the right, to the right, to the right, to the right. Right there to the left now.
Right.
Frequency. Yeah. 2.05. So what this means is your ad has been seen by the same person twice, pretty much is what it's saying. So typically you don't really want this frequency to get too high, because then eventually it's going to be the same people seeing the same ads over and over and over again. And I feel like that's where, if you get too salesy or too pushy with stuff, it could actually be negative. So when you would run an ad to 100 people, your frequency number, depending on what your budget is and how long you run the ad for, the frequency could be 10 to 15 by the end of the week. So yeah. Best advice I was ever told: spend $500 on building audience, $50 on conversion, and make $5,000. I mean, that sounds great in theory. It's definitely possible, but it's not guaranteed. What's the minimum number of emails you would suggest? Here's the other thing too. I don't want to put a number on it. I just think 100 is not enough. But say you have 100 emails, but then you have a pixel that's 10,000. Then I would say go for it, because you can combine custom audiences, guys. So like when you're running these ads and you're picking from the custom audience dropdown, you can pick as many custom audiences as you want. So when I run text ads, when we're doing warm ads, that's who we go after first, because we want to see people who are engaged with his content and have been engaged. We want them to see the content first. So we'll go after them first, and we'll combine his email list. We'll combine his pixel. We'll combine the scrapes from, I call them scrapes. Basically, you're scraping the information from Instagram and Facebook. We'll run all those custom audiences in one shot. You know, we're hitting, 100,000 people, because he's built his, probably more than that actually, has built his over 4 years. So you can combine all those. So it's not just cut and dry where it's like, oh, I have 100 emails, I can't do it. I have 100 emails, but a big pixel or a big Instagram scrape. Yes, combine them all. But if you're just going after 100 people, no, I don't even think 1,000 is a smart idea. I think you should combine those. Now, when you get in the email list with 30, 40, 50,000 people, now we're starting to talk about stuff you can actually individually run ads for, in my opinion. And again, people might not agree with me, which is totally fine. I'm not claiming to know everything or have the answers. The best advice, and what I told Payne before, and he texted me before the show with one word, facts, was everybody's different. Nobody is going to be the same. What I tell you might not make sense for what you're doing. So you need to figure out what makes sense for you and do it yourself. Because in my opinion, real world experience is better than listening to Mike Trampe talk about ads for an hour and a half. So know for yourself, and you don't have to ask questions. But please ask questions. I'm all about questions, but I'm also about people actually doing the processes. That's why I wanted Angel to click around, because I feel like she'll get more familiar with what she's doing just based on this.
Yes, I've definitely got a lot more than I had before.
For sure. Any other questions that are coming in? Nah, do $1 tech. Do $1 a day, man. Do $1 a day until you feel comfortable scaling up. Like, can we Uber eat you a steak and lobster dinner as a thank you? Maybe. Not against that. But yeah, $1 a day I think is fine to start. And just kind of see what the results are. And that's the cool thing about doing advertising. Like, you could do some ads that are just crazy and might not make sense when you first think about it, but then find out they convert really high. You know, so that's what I'm saying. Get super creative with this stuff. It's not just about putting beats up and then pushing people to it and ask them to buy your beats. You're gonna fail 10 times out of 10. All right, so let's recap. What do we got, Payne? What's the recap here, man? What do we figure out?
Well, when you're preparing your ads, figure out which beats are already gaining engagement.
Yep.
And pick those for your ads. Make your videos so that the beat starts at the most interesting moments.
Yep.
Long intros that really take a lot of time to drop will lose the attention of whoever's scrolling through your ad, and then you're wasting money. Next step is, I guess, jumping into Facebook Business Manager, which is just, I think it's business.facebook.com. Yeah, business.facebook.com. That's how you access it. Make sure that your pixel is installed both on your in your Facebook Ads Manager account and on your BeatStars Pro page. I'm trying to think in chronological order. So the next step would be creating an audience, and it's a smart thing to do to create an audience in advance, just because then you can use that audience on any new ad that you create pretty easily.
Mm-hmm.
You start your ad. If you're doing cold audiences, you want to run an ad for, I believe, traffic or brand awareness. And then
Go ahead.
You select your audience. You recommend, Mike, a single video ad. For cold audiences, you don't recommend a video or a carousel. And then in addition, when you write your copy, your ad copy, which is the text that people see, use the download button and try to offer them something. Don't be too salesy. Don't advertise your beats. Don't try to sell them beats. That's something you do when you're retargeting or using a custom lookalike audience to an audience that's already warmed up to buying beats from you.
Yeah,
but for now, you're trying to generate traffic. You're trying to generate emails. You're trying to get people aware of your brand.
Yep.
And then keep your budgets low. Keep your budgets low, because if it's working at a small budget, then you can scale it up. But if it's not working at $1 or $3 a day, it's not going to work at $100 or $300 a day, and you're going to end up losing a lot of money.
Exactly. Sound Design just dropped something that is definitely, I think, a gem. So where we were making those like Instagram, Facebook scrape audiences, I call them scrape audiences. Like I said, it's just a word I've always used because I feel like you're scraping the data to then put in like a file. You can target like who has watched a certain amount of a video, which is kind of cool. So if you want to get really granular and really make sure you're getting people who are super engaged with your stuff, you can make custom audiences based around that too. I didn't touch on that just because I just want to be very general with a lot of this stuff and let you guys and girls dive in and kind of see a lot of these different things. Because listen, if we were going to go literally from start to finish, we'd be here for a week or longer. So, but all that stuff is available for you guys to do. I just wanted to show you where it is and what the possibilities are. I think you need to take the time to learn these things. No, Mike, go in depth. I feel like I've actually gone pretty in depth. I mean, we've been on here for an hour and a half. But yeah, I mean, it's just, I think the stuff that I've provided is more than enough to get you on the right track. And then you can kind of, figure this stuff out on your own and seeing what works for you. But one of my favorite ads right now, just from a personal standpoint, is Instagram stories. You get 15 seconds and you have to make a tall piece of content. And the swipe up is so natural to people now. So if you're offering something free or something dope, and what I've noticed that is working really well is like TikTok style videos on Instagram, like this, when people are like this, and they have like the text up here, like get a free beat, swipe up to get it. Like you could do some cool shit like that too, that I think would work. But I love Instagram story ads. I think they're fun, they're easy, they're short. With today's people, like, we all have short attention spans, we all got shit to do. So that's why I think they perform so well. And they might actually perform better than, you know, some of this other stuff that I've talked about. So if you want to do something cool like that, that might be actually a really cool way. And you can do Facebook stories too. People do interact on those. Any stories, really. You can combine them if you want. Yeah, and IG does have reels, correct. Yep. But I'm talking, you know, stories in general is just a quick way to interact with people. So it's one of my favorite ads right now. And then my penny YouTube ads.
I also feel as though Facebook, so you were talking about conspiracy theories where if you set your lifetime budget, Facebook knows that you're only worth that amount, and so they might not allow your ads to perform that well because they want to keep you on. And if you're already saying, well, here's my endpoint, then Facebook knows they can't retain you as a customer. You're not going to keep spending money. There's an end to the money you spend. If you don't set a cap on your budget, I do it just because I'm paranoid. I mean, Facebook is a business, so I feel like they will do that kind of stuff, especially when I look at, you know, and this is not something recommended for selling beats. This is something very specific, and I don't even want to talk about it, but boosting a post, Facebook will say for, you know, $29.95, you can reach 1,000 more people on this post. $29.95 to reach 1,000 people is horrible. Yeah, that's a horrible ratio. When you start targeting your ads, you'll get a much better ratio than that. So I feel like that's the same concept. I feel like it's not that crazy of a conspiracy. The other thing that I think, damn, I had something really brilliant to say. It was about money. Damn. Oh yeah, the other thing, I think the longer that you run an ad, the more Facebook takes it seriously, and it might just be because their algorithm is constantly learning. That's the thing about these ads. They're always learning, and they're learning while you sleep. Mm-hmm. So if you abandon the ad within 3 days, it might not be at the point that it needs to be for you to actually gain any traction on it. So this is a great question for you, Mike.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
So if someone's running a beat selling ad, how long should they wait until they cancel it and revise it? If it's not performing well, like, is it a week? Is it 2 weeks? Is it 5 days?
It's not necessarily a time. I try to look at like the size of how many people have been reached. I like 10,000 people, I think, is a good number. But I mean, if you want to do a week at minimum, I'd say a week to 2 weeks, I think, is good. And if you're only spending $1 to $2 a day, I mean, if it's a complete disaster, you're only in the hole for $20, $30, or whatever it is. So I think that's what's important about starting small, because I just find people see this and they're like, oh my God, I can do this, I can do that. And in their heads, they think, yo, this is a sure thing. And they just dump a bunch of money into it. But realistically, they don't know what they're doing. And then they get frustrated. I've had literally, I can't even count how many times in my lifetime I've had this happen with people I've worked with or ran into. Well, I don't run ads. They fucking suck. They don't work. Even with BeatStars ad system, while there's not as in-depth targeting, something that should be coming soon, hopefully, it's still an ad system. So you still have to test it out. People hit me up all the time. What's the best place to put my ads on the BeatStars platform? I said, I don't know. They're your beats. Put them everywhere and spend a minimum amount. Look at the results and you tell me what you feel like the most bang for the buck is with your stuff. Because they might be on one page where an audience might connect with it, and it might be on another page where it doesn't. Doesn't mean the content's not good, or, you know, it just might be the placement of things and the way the content is being presented. I don't know. Realistically, nobody knows. It's really, I'm not going to call it a guessing game, but it's a testing game. So even with BeatStars, you want to just try every single one. So imagine, instead of asking Mike Trampe or PJ Payne One or whoever it is, hey, what's the best ad to run on BeatStars? Or, hey, what's the best ad to run on Instagram? Do it, and then you tell me what you think the best way is. So that's just how I feel, man. And this is just the way I was, I guess, brought up in this game. Was I just learned everything on my own, and I know from experience, and I don't mind giving tips and advice, but it might not be accurate all the time because your brain might be so different that maybe something works for you that maybe didn't work for me. So at the end of the day, you just need to do it yourself, and you're available to do that. Like, you have the opportunity to do that for cheap. It's not some crazy cash thing you have to dump thousands of dollars into. So just keep that in mind.
All right. Are there any more questions? I want to make sure that we're addressing everything.
Yeah, I'm good. Like, I'm good for till 5 this time, like 20 more minutes. I mean, if people have questions, I mean, if you're cool, obviously. I penciled in about 2 hours, so.
Okay, great. Let me see.
And I'm gonna make that document for the characters, and I'm gonna share that on my Twitter today. It'll just be, I guess, to an open, I don't even know, some type of either Google Doc or something. But just Michael J. Trampe on Twitter. Follow me or don't. But either way, it's going to be there in the next like hour or two. I'll get it up. Let's see if there's any other questions.
This is a good question. Open buff debt.
I think he meant budget.
No, maybe he's hosting an open buffet for everybody.
No, he meant buffet. I knew he meant buffet. But open budget is way too serious for Bufo. A buffet, that's more up his alley.
Yeah. On the exclude part of the audio. Yeah, I just saw that. How did you say exclude yourself? So if you go up, Angel, do you still have your screen open or no?
I still have the tab open, yes.
Yeah, can you share your screen again really quick? Sorry. Just gonna add. Can you go back up to audiences? Just got to go to the left menu up top and then hit, yeah, you can just go there. Yep.
There it is.
All right. And just hit create audience real quick and do custom. Weird. Okay. I told you to do the wrong one. Saved audience. My bad. I forgot what I was doing for a second. Go to create and then saved audience. My bad. So I just want to show them this one part. Scroll down to the detailed targeting.
Right here.
Mm-hmm. Type in something. Just pick rhythm and blues. That's fine. I mean, technically, you don't have to type in anything. But you see where it says add a connection type? I guess you didn't have to type in anything below. That's what he's asking. So right there, you can hit exclude people who like your page. Okay. That's only going to be on Facebook only. I don't believe they have an Instagram feature for that. I could be wrong, but I mean, all the years I've run ads, they've never had it. But I'm going to be honest, I haven't checked recently specifically for this one little thing. But I'm pretty sure they don't. But yeah, you can exclude people from your Facebook page there.
Okay.
That's all he wanted to see, I think. Anybody else? Got over 100 people in here, and I only see like the same 5 or 6 people talking, which is fine. I get people are probably soaking in the information, which is great. But if you have questions, please ask them. Because I know I'm going to get 30 messages after this in my DM with questions. They could ask them on an open video here, and we can all talk about it. Chris, what are your thoughts? Was better route than ClickFunnels and a funnels by dying tank? Well, let me tell you something about ClickFunnels. ClickFunnels is not new. ClickFunnels has been around for a long, long time. I read Russell's book like 6-7 years ago. And while in theory it works, like there's definitely benefits to using it, and it does work for certain businesses. I don't know if it works for selling beats because I, 1, don't sell beats personally, and 2, don't use ClickFunnels for that or for anything. But all ClickFunnels is a brand name for funnels. Funnels are pretty much what we just did. So sending someone from here to BeatStars to download a beat in exchange for an email is a funnel. Your funnel is the add to BeatStars, free item, download email, put them in your email list, automated emails, put them in your retargeting. That is literally a funnel. ClickFunnels just kind of made a software where I think they charge you like $100 or something a month, and it's pretty much just like a landing page on steroids where you can just do a lot of things, automated things to get people to do things. But just so everyone's clear on that, ClickFunnels is a brand name and a company. It's not like an actual thing. A funnel is an actual thing, and pretty much all of you are running some type of funnel in some capacity at this point. So don't get caught up in the names and the hype. You want to find out about it? Again, going back to my theory, test it out. You tell me if it works. I have no problem with it. It's not needed in my opinion, because there's so much, other stuff that you can do. Yeah, exactly. Rock 5. That's and I'm not going to dive too deep, but that's my main thing. If you want to read his comment, you can. I don't like that either. How do I get someone to submit their email for a free beat? That's easy. So if you have a BeatStars account, we have a feature on there called free download, and you can either pick tagged or untagged. And in exchange for a free beat, they have to punch their email address in, which then gets stored right into your BeatStars account, which you can export. You can add to your mailing list. You can add it to your advertising targeting. You do a lot of different things, but that's it. You just literally, when you upload your track, when you get to the free download part, you just pick. You can pick, I think, a BeatStars follow, an email address, or a Twitter follow. We used to have other options, but I know YouTube changed a lot of things, and it's not doable anymore, unfortunately. But I would still not even do that. I would always do an email. An email is the most powerful thing outside of a phone number, and that's a whole nother thing. SMS marketing, which I actively do and have been doing. Yo, there is so much I don't know about pieces. I know, man. It's crazy. It's truly crazy, man. And it's, I've been in this industry for 15 plus years, full time. I'm meaning this has been my only thing that pays my bills. And I've met a lot of people, and I grew up in an era where, blogs used to break artists. And I grew up in an era where there was no social media, and then transitioned into all these things. And a lot of people that I grew up with that are around my age, I'm, about to be 38. And even people that are a little bit older than me, have always been just like, nah, I don't get down with selling copycat beats, or I don't do this, or I don't do that. And when I hear these things, like, I don't even get mad, because it comes from a space of uneducation. It comes from a space of not even knowing what is out there. And that's dangerous, in my opinion, because I don't talk about stuff that I don't know. I'm not going to tell you to do something if I haven't done it. So judging something and not even knowing it is just dangerous, and especially when it comes to business and when you're talking about creatives, because people are so heavily influenced by creatives. That's why I'm so big on just testing things out, because if you came to BeatStars and you actually saw all the tools that we have and the things that we can offer for what's, in my opinion, I feel like not a lot of money at all, a month or yearly, whatever you decide to pay, it's insane, man. Like, you can sell merch, you can sell services, you can sell memberships, you put your track list down on your pro page, you can collect phone numbers, you can collect emails, there's so much stuff that you can do, and so many tools that you can use. You have to learn about them and do this. And we have a class, I think it's I think it's Monday, maybe. I should know this. BeatStars Academy that Lee teaches, and he goes over all sorts of different things that are on the platform. Check those out. You can go back on our Twitch, watch them at any time. There's other tutorials that we have out. We have more stuff coming. I know Payne talks about a lot of this stuff. Like, the information is there, but it's up to you, the member or producer or artist, or whatever you are, to actually do your research and then implement it and try things out. Because at the end of the day, you can watch me talk till my face is blue and learn a bunch of stuff, but if you don't implement it, it doesn't matter. It's all about the what the hell? Payne, help me out here. Implementation, is that a word?
Yeah, you got it. Implementation.
Okay. It sounded weird to me. But yeah. Brandon Quinn, is Fan Connect integration come back? Yes. So Fan Connect is 100% coming back. I use Fan Connect. I use it for tech. It's something we've actively been doing. They're redoing their whole system, from what I gather. A lot of big changes coming. I'm hoping international texting comes, because that would just be game changing, in my opinion. If not, if you're listening, Fan Connect, get international texting, please. Let me see. Every Wednesday. Yeah, I think you are right. I think the Academy is on Wednesdays. I think it used to be on Mondays, and I think it changed. But you can go on BeatStars.world and just look up our live show, and you can see our schedule, see exactly when it is. Let's see. Any other questions?
They slowly trickle in. I think on average, every 5 minutes we have a new question coming. So, I'll summarize things by asking both of my guests. Well, once again, thanking my guests, thanking all of the people that are active in the chat. You know, shout out to everyone who's active in the chat, including Illmind, including Bufo, including Levi, Rock5, so on and so forth. Angel, you do not have your social media handle and your username here. Mike does. I do. Follow us. It's easy. Angel, how do people follow you?
At Angel Ray 2191 on Instagram, and it's Mrs. Fantastic 91 on Twitter.
Sick. I see
okay,
a question.
We do have one last question. It's from Illmind. Let's ask.
Yeah, so when you test an ad and it seems to be getting 2 times to 5 times the return on investment, would you recommend doubling or tripling the daily budget at that point? Be very careful with doing this, Ill. I've seen people do this and blow through a lot of money and not get the results they thought they were going to get based on the test results. Scale. What's the word I want to use? I don't want to say patiently scale, but just be cautious when you scale. I wouldn't go from testing conservatively, thank you, and 5 times exit. Again, going back to my theory, I feel like the ad system sees that and will blow through budget, and maybe the targeting and what they're presenting is not the same as it was when you were doing it testing. Scale conservatively up, and then see what the results are. Every phase should be some type of testing. I just wouldn't see great test results after a month and then say, oh shit, I'm going all in. Push the chips in. I think that is where you probably are going to have some issues. But at the same time, it could work. So it's a very, and that's why I started off with saying be careful with that, because I have seen advertisers in the past. I haven't had to deal with that because I'm like super scared of going all in. I'm like big on testing and just testing things out and trying things out. And then when I find something that works, I just kind of like, scale up a little bit and I kind of just stay in that lane. Now, what you guys are doing might be a little bit different because I'm pushing for a lot of streams and different engagement. You guys are actually pushing to sell a product. So again, I would just test conservatively and just move up a little bit over time and kind of see what results you get. And then, at the end of the day, if you want to make that decision and you have some money to play with too, that definitely comes into consideration. If you have a little bit of money to play with and you're not afraid, it's like playing the stock market, man. You know what I mean? It's like playing a lot of things. I collect cards. It's my hobby outside of music, and it's a risk. Buy a card for $50 today, it could be $400 tomorrow. I don't know. So there's always risk with all this stuff. So keep that in mind.
Well, once again, Mike and Angel, I appreciate both of you coming on here. Shout out to everyone that tuned in. This will be archived, BeatStars.live, BeatStars.world. You can access all the previous episodes as well as learn about a whole bunch of new stuff, new features, the racial justice initiatives, and more. Shout out to BeatStars for powering Music Entrepreneur Club. Dame and I are on every single week, twice a week, Mondays and Thursdays at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our free MEC sessions. Totally free, open to the public, interactive, just like this one. I think a lot of you who tuned in today know that because you're repeat viewers. So thank you for being repeat viewers. Next Monday, we'll be back. Also, if you missed the summit, BeatStars.world, BeatStars.live features archived versions of those sessions. So we had some really amazing panels there. So I'm going to end this now. Thanks again. BeatStars staff are contacting me right now about some timestamps that I need to do.
Can I drop something real quick too before you cut me off?
Absolutely.
No, I just wanted to thank everybody too for their time because listen, at the end of the day, you guys got to put the effort forward. So I appreciate everybody actually listening to what I have to say and taking something from it. Don't take my word as the final word. Test things out yourself. I know I said it a million times, but please just go out there and hit me up when you find something dope. Payne has hit me up in the past, like, yo, did you know you could do this? I'm like, holy shit, no, I didn't even know they had this. Like, I don't know everything. I know enough, I think, but yeah. I'm very interested. I'm a nerd at heart when it comes to this stuff. So I would love to hear what you guys are working on and what successes or maybe failures that you've even had. This type of stuff I love to talk about. So keep me posted. But yeah, appreciate everybody. Angel, thank you so much for letting us use your account.
No problem.
You're amazing. You've done some amazing stuff personally for me in the past to help out on certain fronts, and I really appreciate you just for all your efforts and just being a pillar of this community and just, you know what I mean, what we're all about here. So thank you. Payne, obviously, thank you too, brother.
Thank you.
You know what it is, bro. But yeah, BeatStars.com. If you don't have an account, go sign up. We got BeatStars distribution, $1.99 a month. This is my ads. This is my ad spiel right here. $1.99 a month. You can get on TikTok, Instagram stories, Spotify, all the DSPs. We're working to make that platform amazing. A bunch of new updates to the pro page. We got a bunch of new things coming. We got 2 apps out. If you guys don't know, the instrumental app, the studio app. You can do everything on the go. We got some legends joining BeatStars. We'll have some information on that. Some true legends that are interested in collaborating and working with the community. We got so much stuff coming, guys. Obviously, the Sony partnership on the publishing side. It's guys. If you're not on board, get on now. Like, we're about to take off. It's about to be a crazy 2020 into 2021. So let's all do this together. So what we're here for. So appreciate y'all.
All right, peace, everyone.
Thanks, guys.